morning. I already lost Sophie. She was running a little late this morning, so we focused on getting the run done so she could get to work on time. Which is one of those perks, you know, to not having to go to an office on my part, for sure. Good morning. It's Wednesday. It's been a very confusing week in some ways. Like on Monday, I went on Paul Taylor's Happy Hour Live, so I just made a little promotional video for that. And then yesterday was a 20 and 20, or 80 and 8. I don't even know what it's called anymore. You know, it's been good, but I'm a little bit lost. But speaking of being able to make Paris my office and being out here with you today, thanks to David and Julia Cross, today's patron producers, for making that possible. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to share it. And, you know, thank you. It's amazing. That's it. I gotta keep running. I've had a lot of time to think, obviously probably more than most, to think about vlogging, both in the sense of like the art of vlogging, but also like the practical implications and the pain of vlogging when it comes to real life. And I've kind of gone too far one way and not as far another way in how I approach vlogging most of the time I've been doing it. I was gonna say most of my life, and I guess in a way it has been a big part of my life, and I guess it has been my life for the last five years. I started vlogging daily in June of 2016. Yikes. Holy zoiks. But I thought I'd kind of share a little bit about that. Like, it's kind of behind the scenes, but it's also, hopefully, how I plan to change things a little bit. We'll see if I succeed at that or not. This bridge might have been a bad choice of spots to stop. Sounds like somebody, oh, maybe they actually are working in here. I thought maybe it was the cars going overhead. The other thing that I've been reflecting on a little bit is how excited and grateful I am that things are moving so quickly in the States, vaccine-wise. And things are moving at a glacial pace here. I'm asked about it all the time. I'm asked about it very frequently. And no, that's definitely hammering. There's always construction noises somewhere. It's giving me thoughts. I'm gonna move on. This is terrible. There are two other things that are happening today, one of which is I think the frame for the map on the wall should be finally available. They said that the shipment should get in like yesterday or today. So of course I gave them a little extra time, and my plan is to, well, I'm not gonna ride my bike down because I've got the frame won't really fit on my bike. So we'll take the metro down and get that hopefully, and also meet Jess, because as soon as I got the apartment back, I don't know if I mentioned this, and that's how I've also been able to do some cooking lately. At the office I still have access to. I haven't been able to tell that story entirely yet, so we've just kind of glossed over it. I will tell that story at some point, don't you worry. But until then, you know, we still have that, which is great, and it's where we can work. And that's one of the things that I haven't talked about behind the scenes. I've said that Jess is helping me, like organizationally, getting things put together, but she's actually working for me. We've talked about it for a while, and she's a great fit for a lot of reasons. She knows Paris very well. She's worked in tourism for a really long time. We're good friends. I trust her very much. And there are just a lot of arenas that she can help me with and help to plug some holes now that Kate has moved on. And so she's just kind of helping to pick up some pieces, as well as help get me organized, as well as help get ready for whatever comes next. I have to actually kind of rebuild my guide, not entirely from scratch, because obviously I can get stuff out of the PDF, but I've mentioned before, I lost the document or the file to build it from scratch, my InDesign file. So I've got to, you know, rebuild that, which will be good because I think it's a good opportunity to redesign it, make it better, include a bunch more links. Like it'll be a worthy project. But then there are a lot of small like mini guides, additional things around the whole city that she's somebody who's very knowledgeable and very able to help me put together even better guides. And for those of you that saw that there's a food poll over on Patreon right now for Shoe, or the little cream puffs, she helped me put that together. Just, it's good to have an outsider coming in and helping me come up with ideas. One of the reasons I haven't done polls on Patreon in a long time is because I just kind of felt like I was in a rut, and then also because obviously lockdown and everything else, I wasn't able to go out and do the things that I would normally do from the polls. So anyway, she's just injecting some fresh life in, which is great, and we're gonna go see her for lunch here shortly. And then yeah, the frame and behind the scenes vlogging stuff and vaccines. There's a lot going on. Oh man. The reason that I kind of thought about this earlier was because I'm distracted by a little bit of wait. It's finding that right balance between putting the camera in people's faces and interrupting daily life, and you're just kind of how you're going about interacting with people. That I've kind of veered traditionally, mostly in the direction of trying to do as little as possible, like get 1 or 2 shots at lunch, or get some shots as I'm hanging out with people, running with people, spending time with people, but also not wanting to ruin their day in the process. But I've taken a little bit of an extreme on that, and I'm working on getting better. Speaking of filming at lunch, I need some lunch.
You want something from the pho place?
Get something from the pho place? So let's check it out. They've got NEMs. All right, let's give it a try, see what it is. They do have, I feel like they've got banh mi. They've got some baguettes over here at least. Banh mi. Question. I'm usually fairly inconspicuous, or how do you feel about my filming style when it comes to filming friends and situations?
Well, right now, the camera is about this far from my face, which feels a little close, Jay.
Yeah, but that's not how it normally is.
I haven't plucked my eyebrows, and yeah, thanks. Listen, I don't really notice it anymore. Actually, most of the time I don't notice, and then suddenly I notice, and then
and then you're like, oh.
What's happening? Why is he filming this bit? This isn't the interesting bit.
The thing is that I tend to assume that people are going to be annoyed by being on camera.
Right.
Even if they're okay with it. And so going for candid shots, for one, I just enjoy more because it's real and nobody's pretending. But then there are a lot of opportunities where you could have fun with it, where just by asking people to go out of their way. And I think my friends are generally much more willing to do that than I assume they're going to be, which I think I have reasons for believing that. But yeah, just wanting to be more, not obnoxious, but more obnoxious.
It's funny what I was going to say. I was about to say, I usually have to stop myself from interrupting you.
That's also a thing. Actually, I always feel bad though too, because if I want to stop and talk to the camera, I feel rude to be like, hold on, I need to talk to this box in my hand for a second.
Yeah.
But then I also realize I just need to sometimes be like, hold on one second, I need to get this thought out and then go back to conversation, because otherwise I'm super distracted.
I mean, it doesn't bother it doesn't bother me.
Yeah, I know, but I know it doesn't bother most people, but I kind of assume it does by default. We got NEMs, which are egg rolls, and banh mi sandwiches.
That wasn't on as you were pulling it up, was it? As my face.
Yeah, oh boy was it, but I don't have to put that part in if you don't want. This is a random picnic lunch, but I love it. The other side of the uncertain annoyance is how I always have to stop to take shots. Tying into the running this morning with Sophie, knowing that I would slow her down and make her late for work, is that trying to strike that balance between walking with a friend and getting somewhere, and then also being like, woo, that's a cool shot, and stopping all the time to try and get the shot. It's another consideration. Sorry. Case in point.
Take advantage while you're doing it.
Yeah, That's a good way to combo it. Guess I can do this really quick. Lunch consumed, coffee had. Feeling pretty good. Jess has a call that she's got to get on, so I'm gonna go to Leroy Merlin alone. Hopefully we can get this frame finally. The thing is that I want to include my friends and put more people in my vlog more, and the reluctance has come mostly from, I think, at least partially, from early on when I started. I felt like there was a lot of resistance to that for the people that were around at the time before I came to Paris, and always felt a little bit, you know, like I was being more of a pain in the butt than anything to those people. And coming to Paris, I've shared this before, but coming to Paris changed that because I met people like Mark and the friends that I have now that are super supportive and super into it, even back before I was doing it for anything more than fun. And so I never really fully broke that habit of erring on the side of caution when it came to how much or how little I put people in my vlog. But now, yeah, not that I want to swing the other way, but I definitely want to work my way more towards just making sure that I do shove the camera in my friends' faces a little bit more in a fun way to include them and not, you know, skip on that part so much. Because, you know, it's just more fun. Life is more fun lived with friends, and a vlog is more fun filmed with friends. And also, sorry about the mask. As I'm talking, the little nose clip up here, it snapped in half. So it's not pinching my nose, so it's sliding down a little bit as I talk. If you didn't notice it before, you're gonna notice it now. Sorry about that. Anyway, let's get ourselves a frame. And then I got a couple thoughts about what might happen with this whole vaccination situation. We were just talking about it in front of the Peloton with, speaking of friends that I didn't film, Charles was there. I should have filmed Charles. He's just generally a delight. What was I thinking? 11 euros for 2 frames. It's freaking awesome. It's phenomenal. I got a second one for the map of the unknown. We'll see if I've been wanting to do something like that for a long time. Oh man, hopefully the wind doesn't blow these to pieces as I'm walking. Okay, the other thing that I was thinking about was partially because culturally here as well. Oh wait, music's only gonna get louder for a second. Another factor in trying to be careful on the filming front, to generally film only myself as much as possible, is that culturally and also legally here in France, people are less inclined to be on camera. And I've navigated that okay. I think for the most part I'm really respectful and I don't get into any trouble. But I had a couple of moments people got upset with me, even thinking I was filming them when I was definitely not filming them. That also kind of puts things into, you know, a little bit of a, okay, like I'll be careful perspective. But obviously friends are different. And that's something that's got to change. Just was thinking about that when I was walking around inside the store there. Oh, and now I'm just worried that the wind is gonna force these frames into getting just the crap kicked out of them. I did it. I hung up the thing. That would have been the perfect time for it to like fall off the wall. I'm just a little worried about it. This frame is super light. It seems pretty perfect. It's very thin. Thinner than, it's like pretty much the thinnest we found. And yeah, I haven't tested the walking up and down the stairs yet. But hopefully. I mean, I'm totally gonna hit this at some point. I'm gonna forget and just smack it one of these days. Here's hoping I didn't just make a huge mistake of some sort by putting that on the wall, but I think it looks nice. It's just the glossiness. I wish that it could be a matte. I also didn't peel, there's plastic, something, in case you ever get one of these frames, the plastic sheet here comes with a layer of plastic film on it that you gotta peel off, which I did for the back, but not for the front. So I just had to do that, and was kind of worried I was going to accidentally pop the whole thing off the wall. So, lesson learned, word to the wise. Careful. I hope that everything that I said earlier made sense. All that to say, previously to what we were talking about, is that, working on finding a balance. It was sparked, like I said, by Sophie needing to be a little bit more focused on the run and not stop to film so much. And then thinking through, like, okay, well, how do I talk to my friends? Some friends I know are totally fine with it. Others have moments where they'd rather not be filmed. And others I don't think I've ever really talked about it with. And then I just kind of want to experiment with it and see, like, what are people comfortable with and what kind of fun things can we do together that just, capture good moments, but also... or we just have fun together. You've seen Emily dance on camera. Who else wants to dance? I don't know. We're going to find out. On the vaccine side, there's been a lot of really exciting stuff to come out in the news lately. The rate in the States, at least, is just on a rocket ship. To hear them kind of go back and forth a little bit there where they weren't sure how things were going to roll out, but now to hear them say, like, oh yeah, like by the end of May, that's our goal now, to have everybody who wants to be vaccinated. That's awesome. And also bananas, because here, if you look at like the statistics, if you look, there's France. I added France on the list there, and they're all the way down here. For those of you that keep asking, you can look this up online. Obviously, I'm looking at ourworldindata.org. There are a bunch of charts like this. The point is, though, it's slowly coming up, and we'll see how things go. But at the rate things are going, I've been tempted, and this is a conversation that's going on a lot among Americans in Paris. And I have some friends that have already gone back to the States to get vaccinated. And there's that temptation, like my taxes are paying for a shot either way. Like either I'm paying for one in the States or I'm paying for one, I'm paying for both. And I've been debating like, what would I do? But if everybody that needs one, especially like in the high risk categories and so forth, have already been vaccinated in the States by, let's say, June, late May to June, I would love to go back and see my family. Like my sister's birthday at the end of May would be great to be there for that. Be able to catch up with just, see my dad, go for runs with him, catch up with my mom. If everybody's pretty much caught up stateside and things are still way behind here, I've been working pretty hard for the last year to not catch it. Thankfully, as far as I know, I've never caught it. So I've been thinking about that. You can let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below about that, obviously. But that's kind of one of the debates. Like, do I hop on a plane, which is, that's a risky activity. But from what I've heard as well from friends who have traveled recently, like it's taken seriously and it shouldn't be too dangerous to do that. And then if I could see family, get vaccinated, and then come back here after it's kicked in, it's tempting, and I've been thinking about it a lot, so I thought I would just share that here because I don't know that I'm going to do that, but I want to see my family. I miss them, and I think a lot of us are ready for this to be behind us, and the idea of being able to go spend time with them and get vaccinated so I could really see them safely, sounds like a really good combination to me. Especially because like apparently 2 more people in this complex, not in my building, but in one of the buildings and then this building over here, just caught COVID again recently. Or not again, but just caught it. And one of them's in the hospital. And that's kind of scary. So it's, I'd like to get vaccinated, please. Please. So hopefully the French government catches up, but the line needs to curve more sharply up sooner for me. I was going to wait. We thought at the beginning of this, we thought that we would be vaccinated like super quickly here in France, and just does not seem to be the case. So yeah, what are the other options, I guess? Speaking of being ready for things to be over, I'm really ready for them to be done. They've been renovating this apartment it looks amazing from what I've seen, but holy cow, both of these apartments that have been under renovation should be done, and thankfully those noises will be over. I also recognize that it's a really privileged position to be in, to be able to fly somewhere where I could get a vaccine, and that factors in as well, that to be able to do that, I would be really lucky, and I have to wait obviously for confirmation as to what my visa status is, or at least get an updated temporary residency permit here. But I think that's where the conflict also comes from, is thinking in terms of like, wow, like there are a lot of people in the world that don't have access to that. And that's not to say that I shouldn't do it because I have access to it, but it definitely gives me pause for reflection, to be grateful. And to, I want to make sure that I don't step out of line in the process. Like I do also want to wait my turn. And I can keep waiting, and I can keep isolating, and I can keep, if I'm going to see people, seeing them outside or whatever else as much as I need to. And that'll obviously get easier with warm weather too, to see people outside. But I'm ready for this. I'm so ready for this to be behind us. Speaking of things that are behind us, pretty happy with that. Again, not so much with the glare, but I don't think that I can deglarify. If you know a way to deglarify that piece of plastic, I'm also open to that. And yeah, I'll leave you there. But I hope that you're having a wonderful day wherever it is you are. I hope that you're staying safe, and that if you are doing well and you feel up to it today, maybe you could reach out to somebody you love and check in on them today. And I will see you bright and early tomorrow morning here, sometime very soon tomorrow morning, I guess. I'm just talking nonsense now because I'm anticipating them to start drilling again here in a second. I'll see you tomorrow.